and welcome to Women Today. I am your host, Bernadette. They say it's usually darkest before dawn, and today I have Valentine Shoti, who was orphaned at a very young age of 12 and left to look after her two siblings and ailing grandmother. Today, Valentine is CEO and founder of Organet Global Manufacturers. Valentine, welcome to Women Today.
Thank you so much, Benedict.
Good. Valentine, tell us, how was the first few 14 years of your life?
My name is Valentine Shoti. I'm 24 years old, and I'm also affectionately known as my Dory.
Okay.
When translated means the queen mother of peanut butter.
Okay.
So basically, my upbringing was a bit different, I might say.
Okay.
It was tougher than that of a normal child.
Okay. Valentine, where did you grow up, first of all?
Okay, so I grew up in Chitumbiza.
In Chitumbiza,
But then sometimes I was just moving from one place to another.
Okay.
Because my parents separated when I was young.
Okay.
So sometimes we would stay in Chitumbiza with my mom, or go to Hopley to my dad.
Okay.
So we're just moving in between throughout the years up until I lost both of them when I was barely 13 years of age.
All right. Wow, you were just almost 13 and you lost both your parents.
Yeah.
And how was that life after that? When you lost your parents, where did you go and stay after that?
Well, that basically changed everything for me because after that, after losing my parents, I automatically, without any choice, became the leader of a child-aided family.
Okay.
Of which I was the leader to looking after my two siblings, and then my now 8-year-old grandmother.
Okay.
So that changed everything. The situation changed everything because I had to be a mother. I had to be a father at that time to provide and look after them, and yet I was a child.
Describe how maybe a normal day would be at that time.
Well, in all honesty, that was tough.
Okay.
I felt like the world was closing its curtains on me. I felt like it was going to be the end for me. Because a normal day was like me going to school. I was Form 1 by then.
Okay.
So I would go to school and then finish school at about 12. Form 1s were ending at 12 that time. So I would come back home and make sure that my grandmother takes her medication, and then my sisters are fed, and then I would go look for party times, how it is, looking for piece jobs, I can say, whereby you wash people's clothes, or you sweep for them, or you babysit for them, in exchange for some financial support.
Okay.
So the other thing besides washing for other people and cleaning, doing all those chores, I would make samosas. I love cooking. I'm passionate about food. So I would cook some samosas, fill them in a container, and then start selling at our nearby by then supermarket. So I would sell. So somebody noticed me. Why do you always sell samosas? Don't you go to school?
All right.
And then I told them that I go to school, but I've got a family to look after. My parents are gone, the story.
Yeah.
Because, you know what, I could talk to my friend who has got a pharmacy. Maybe you could go and clean for them. And they'll give you something better than selling these samosas. And you have time to read after cleaning.
Yes.
So that you won't lag behind in terms of your schoolwork. So, that's when another phase started. I was cleaning Platinum Health Pharmacy. And then a normal day would be like, wake up, go to the pharmacy, and then I remember my sister I was now sending her to grade 1 that time. So I would wake up at 4, prepare for school, and then go and leave her at school. I would go to the pharmacy to clean, and then around lunchtime, I would go back and collect her. This is during the weekends.
Okay,
like the
weekends.
weekdays, I would start going
To school first.
I would drop my sister to school, and then I would go to school.
Okay.
I would come back, check upon my grandmother and my other young sibling,
Okay.
and then go to clean, go collect her. Then I would finish cleaning, and I would finish around. The pharmacy was closing at 8:30 by that time.
In the evening, okay.
And then maybe would leave the pharmacy after being cleared at 9. So I would carry my sister on my back,
Sure, yeah.
then start walking. It was quite a distance, about 3 km from where we stay. And it's after 9. And then I would go and find my grandmother already sleeping,
Okay.
and then the younger one already sleeping as well.
Okay.
No food. So, and the one that I carried on my back is already sleeping.
Yeah.
So I would put her to sleep and then start cooking with firewood.
At night like
At
that?
night like that. And I'll be alone. Everyone is already inside. Where I was renting that time, there was no electricity.
Okay.
So I would start, preparing food. Then maybe after 10 or 11, that was our normal day. That's when I would wake the rest, my grandmother and my sisters to eat. And then the day goes like that.
So, that's a lot. You were up for almost, over 12 hours working, and then school. If it's during the week, then it's school.
Yeah.
And then back home, and then you'd wake up people to eat. So at that time, you said you were renting. So you were in charge of renting, and it was all on you.
Yes.
So that's our first segment, and we will be back getting to know more about Valentine. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Women Today. If you're joining us now, I'm here with Valentine Shoti, and she's sharing her story with us at such a young age. Valentine, before the break, we were talking about your day-to-day life at the point when you lost your parents, and you were looking after your sisters and your grandmother, and you had to do a job during the day and then pick up your sister and go home late at night and get home late and cooking at 11 p.m. and you spoke also about how you couldn't even relate to people at your age at that point, because now you were focused on looking after your family at that time. Valentine, can you tell us after that? You've taken us through the day-to-day business, but I understand you were still in school at the time.
Yeah.
So maybe you can just walk us through your school days now and how you started your business.
Okay.
Take us through that one.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. That's an interesting part to share.
Okay.
So when I was Form 2, like I told you, that I was always attentive to things that had a prize money attached to it.
Okay.
Because I wanted to pay the rent, food, medication, and school fees for my sister.
Yes.
So there came an introduction of a competition.
Okay.
Science education in teacher training service.
Okay.
In short, which they called SAIT.
Okay.
It's a competition whereby judges, scientists, doctors, they get to identify talents, young scientists in particular.
Okay.
So they came to our school and said, you know what, there's going to be a competition running, and we are just going to take 3 winners from each school to represent the district. And the winners, there's got some prize money, laptops, and phones attached to it. Even before they went on to the laptops and the phones, the moment they mentioned money,
you were like,
I was like listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So even at that age, now you said you were in Form 2.
Yeah.
And there's this competition that comes up. But it got your attention because, are you saying already at that time you were already interested in herbs and herbal things?
Yes.
How did you develop that interest though? before the science fair and all that? How did you develop the interest in the herbs and all that?
Okay, so the story is a bit interlinked. So my grandmother, she's blind, she's diabetic, arthritic, and she's got high blood pressure.
Okay.
So I developed an interest because I couldn't afford to keep on taking her to the hospital whenever she got sick.
Okay.
So I started, studying how best I can develop our normal diet into something unique.
Okay.
Like, let's say whatever that I serve for the meal, it had to provide extra nutritional benefits for her, so that I can reduce the load of hospital bills and taking after her when she gets sick.
Okay, so and you were thinking that when you were 14.
Yes.
So now at 14 you're saying to yourself, I need to reduce the cost of medication for my grandmother.
Yes.
I need to figure out that in this chikaf chandirugu BKG, how can I incorporate medicine within the food that's not going to be too expensive for me. That's what you're saying at that age.
Yes.
Okay. Now we're back to the science fair. And because you've had that interest in the herbs and obviously you're doing research.
Yeah, I was doing my research and also I had the privilege of getting selected into the few students who would do food science at school.
Okay.
So my research is backed with the knowledge that we could get in our food science lessons. Okay. So that really strengthened my resolve around medicine.
Okay. So now you're at the SETS, is it? SETS science fair. Okay.
Yeah, SETS science fair. So already before the competition, the science fair, I had a herbal garden at home.
Okay.
Herbs are expensive.
Yes.
So I just thought that if I could grow a portion of it at home, just like we do our vegetables, our rep, our tsunga, mbora, I could do that with herbs.
Okay.
So I already had a garden.
Okay.
So I just took samples from my garden, a lot of samples.
Okay.
And then I was given a table at the science fair, so I displayed.
Okay.
But just soon after displaying all the roots, the leaves, the barks, everyone, even the participants, they started that
teasing you.
Yeah. Godobori, which doctor?
Okay. Now you're the Godobori at school now.
What fueled that is during my high school years, I had a signature haircut. Okay. So I was bald.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, so why? Was that regulatory or you just liked the bald head?
It was cheaper for me.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So it was affordable for me, so I was bald.
Okay.
So they started looking at my hairstyle. This young girl is bald and she's displaying all these roots, all these leaves. Okay. This is a witch doctor. Okay. Right. So that resulted, even before proceeding with the fair, I lost even the few friends that I had.
Okay, because of that.
Yeah. That stigma of not wanting to be associated with someone who is called a Godobori at school. Okay. So they fled, but that's a story for another day.
All right.
So at the fair, the judges came, doctors, scientists, pharmacists, and they were like listening. Okay. So yes, Valentine, tell us. So you're saying you're a scientist? Yes. And then I was telling them garlic, the scientific name of garlic is Allium sativum. Okay. We get this, ginger. Okay. There's this in ginger, there's that. I was explaining in detail the scientific jargon and the nutrients that we get from and how they work, how they are absorbed into our system when we chew. All right. So they said, wow, that's a well-researched project. Well done. But then we are looking for the giants within the game. Okay. We are looking for the cream. Right. So tukuona hako kuti chido chiripo but chipo atisataita se atisatachiona. Okay. So go back home. If if you think you are a scientist, come back some other time, but this is not what you're looking for.
Sure.
Anyone can just tell us, even us, we even know more about how this absorption work, these nutrients, etc. So we are sorry we did not make it.
So they were basically saying, look, it's nothing new. We've seen
it's
it
nothing
before.
new. We have seen it before. We know ginger.
Yeah.
But then before they departed from my table, I asked one of the judges who was closer to me, I say, can you please at least chew the garlic or chew the ginger? It has got health benefits and nutrients that your body needs. And he said, young lady, you know what? I know ginger. Plus garlic, the smell, not now. Maybe some other time, but thank you. Thank you. And he was writing down, you know, and passing. So instantly, I saw that there's a problem within the system. I never called them back, you know how it is. They went, I lost.
You lost.
Not even the money, the laptops, you know.
So you went home, no prize,
and
nothing.
For the first time after some years, I was bottling things up. I cried a lot.
All right.
Yeah, I went back home swollen.
With your bald head.
With my bald head, and I'm demotivated. My sisters they don't even know how to comfort me. I'm just quiet, you know, trying to toughen up for them. It's okay. So they were asking, did you make it? Because I had all this confidence. I'm going to bring the money. I'll bring the laptop and the phone. So they were like, where is it? And I was like, I didn't make it. So when I went back home, the competition only runs once, by the way. So when I went back home, I had the whole year of re-strategizing to see how best I can win next time. Because I refused to give up at that time.
Wow, yeah. All right, so you didn't give up. You went home and you went to do more research and figure out really how to... So you wanted to go into the next year's... Yes.
I was now preparing myself for the next year's edition. Since it only runs once at district level.
All right.
Yeah. So I went back home and said, wow, so you couldn't eat my ginger. You couldn't withstand the smell of garlic. So how does he survive if we cannot eat this? And then I was like relating to him, but no, that's not his fault. Because sometimes I battle with my grandmother to take some of the things that I prepare for her. So I have to make sure that I make something that is both naturally healthy and also extraordinarily delicious, so that they can take it smiling. So I looked at different foods, jam, all those different foods, yogurt, ice creams, and said, you know what, most of these things, they've got limitations to eat. But what is one natural product that we have in Zimbabwe or in Africa, that target every age group? So I looked at peanut butter at that time and said, peanut butter, a child, when they are introduced to solid food at 6 months, they are already eating peanut butter with porridge with peanut butter. Sandwiches, a toddler, you know, teenagers, our mothers, our grandfathers, almost everyone in Zimbabwe and also in Africa, if I can say, they eat peanut butter, every age group. So I knew that if I could advance peanut butter, then it could help a lot of people. Yes.
And this, you having these conversations with yourself when you were 14 now. Wow, absolutely amazing. So we are on the stage where she was now thinking for herself, how do I infuse these herbs into this peanut butter to make it easier for... I'm sure at the time you were just thinking about your grandmother, not so much the world at large. So stay tuned and hear what happened next. We'll be back. Welcome back to Women Today. We're in the final segment and we're here with Valentine Shoti. So back to our story where you were telling us that now you had probably figured out how to infuse the herbs into the peanut butter, and you're now ready for the science fair the following year. Can you just finish up on that one and let us know how it went?
So I had figured out that we could actually, it's possible to put flavor and to use herbal plants to make peanut butter.
Okay.
So I went with a final product, a finished product, and then the judges were like, tell us what you have this time, Godobori, Mrs. Switch Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's when I explained the concept. I told them straight out, you know what, this is the best product that you can ever have in Zimbabwe. Why? Because at this rate, children, they cannot even withstand or chew herbs. They're usually excluded when people are talking about a health lifestyle. And even looking at when solid foods are introduced to a baby's diet, they don't even have teeth to chew. So they cannot even chew. But then with this product, it targets everyone. You don't have to be intimidated. Maybe let's say when you are a young lady dating, you don't need to be seen holding all those roots, a bunch of roots or bags. Just a bottle will do the trick. And then you don't even need to worry about that strong smell of allium, of garlic per se. Because right now, I've managed to put the flavor into the peanut butter and also to use the garlic to make the peanut butter. So they were like, wow, can we taste? And I was like, oh, yes, this is it. So they tasted and I took the first position. I went to represent the district. I was given the money, the phone, So finally I got the laptops and the money and the phone. So it was really a turning point for me. I could do my researches on the laptop. I could research. I now have a phone. You know, it changed. It changed my life. So I went to represent my district. I took the first place because in Zimbabwe, it was not heard of before. For years, for more than 500 years or 1,000 years, people have always known peanut butter to just be nuts, roasted nuts. That's it. But the flavor, flavor. So there was no flavored peanut butter. So I also took the first position. And I also went to the provincials, to the nationals, such that year, when I was Form 2 and when I was Form 3, I managed to attain about 25 merit awards from where I started at this level up to international level, where I attended the 10th International Researchers Symposium.
So what can you advise the young ladies out there as someone who's still making strides in the, in your industry, making peanut butter and trying to advance your business? What's one thing you'd like to advise young ladies out there?
All right. So I would want to tell them that there's a giant that is within you. Sometimes we don't understand why we go through some difficult phases of life. But what I always tell some other young ladies who I meet when I go when I'm invited to different platforms, I tell them that when you sit on a throne, then the giant within you is forced to stand. You cannot continue sitting on a throne. You will be forced to stand. So whatever that you might be going through, it's forcing you to stand and discover how far and how big the giant that is within you. The world is there for you to conquer it. You can go beyond what you think right now, so don't give up.
Fantastic. I don't think I have any more to add to that. Valentine, thank you so much for coming to Women Today. It was an absolute pleasure having you on our show. Ladies at home, you heard everything. I don't think I want to add anything more just to what you just said. Otherwise, from us here at Women Today, we will see you next time. Goodbye.